At some point of our Lego career as a child, I think all of us have witnessed and been a culprit of making our own dream house in Lego. Sometimes they were good and sometimes they weren't as good. Just like this monstrosity right here. Anyway, in my era of Lego collecting as a kid, I was really into the creator houses. Today, I'm going to be building different versions of houses, going from the worst to the best. So here's how. I first started building a structure on a 16x16 base plate with a sidewalk along with some mason bricks and a yard. Overall, this is going to be a tiny house, so we'll see what we can fit inside. After I had the grass laid down, I put some trees on the side to give it a little bit of extra character, and then continued building the walls up with some olive green, which is personally my favorite Lego color. And so, after you build the walls of a house, I guess it's time to go ahead and put some stuff inside. So I included a small little bed that looks like a Minecraft bed, a plant, a table, and a little bucket for water, or, whatever else they need to use it for, because there's no bathroom. And then I tiled off the top so I could put a roof, and here's the finished outcome, which I have to say isn't exactly terrible, except for the fact that there's no kitchen, bathroom, or heating system, so I had to put a campfire outside because the minifigure can't freeze. I'm gonna have to pass on this design and go to the next level of Lego houses. And this is definitely getting recycled very soon. Rest in pieces, and you will not be missed. I'm sorry. So moving on to our middle class house, we have a painted lady that I built a few years ago, and I just decided I would use this as the middle tier house. Overall, in architecture and just the way that this is built, it is much more complex and complicated than the last build, quite obviously. The only downside to this house is that it actually doesn't have a full interior, which I think at some point I would like to modify it and make it have a full interior. But for now, this is how it looks. Looks kind of abandoned if you ask me. But overall, you gotta say that this is a step up from the last build, but it still doesn't meet my bouginess requirements. So in the next and final build, I'm going to go all out and start this build out on a 32x32 base plate with a road on the outside of the house. And then I got to work on the driveway, and this I built with a snot technique, and I just placed the slab of concrete right. Also, I don't know what it was, but when I was little, I was always obsessed with the mason bricks, especially in this color, so I wanted to make sure to incorporate that into this, as well as a fence so the little pup don't get out. Also included a gate so that the cars could be kept in there safely as well. And then so the minifigures could breathe, I added a tree. As for the interior of the first floor, we have a little living area with some plants and statues, along with a kitchen in the back. And then to spice it up just a little bit, I decided to make a modern chandelier that hangs in the front part. Also, of course, I had to add a TV for entertainment. As for the exterior of the first and second floor, I just kind of built it up in such a way that a cube of the second floor can kind of fit in the back. So I created these awnings to give it a little bit of a depth, and I think it looks really good. So now we're going to skip a little bit ahead and show you this time lapse of me basically just building up the second floor. It was a pretty long process, but I think it turned out really good in the end. In total, the house probably took me about 4 or 5 hours. It wasn't that hard to construct, but just designing it was probably the hardest part. And as you can see, the second floor just fits right on. Taking a look into the interior, we have a bathroom and a small bedroom. I wish I could have made this bigger, but there's not a lot of square feet in this house. Since there's no room for any music stuff on the inside, I decided to put it here on the top of the roof, and I think it adds a little bit of a funky feeling to it, but it's not entirely bad. They can have a concert from the roof. So that is gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which house was your favorite down in the comments. Also, if you're not subscribed, do so at this time. But until next time, keep creating what you love.